This episode is brought to you by Smartwatch Twins.
Twinsies! This episode of Real Garbage is also brought to you by finally taking care of my facial hair in a manly way.
I saw that.
This is Real Garbage.
Okay, for a second there, I'm like, you actually noticed the difference in my beard already?
Well,
it's only been a day.
It looks like softer and not less like
Haggard.
Yeah.
Oh, it was getting... It's a scraggly beard to begin with because I'm not blessed with normal levels of testosterone, I think. So my facial hair grows slower, which is disappointing. But I am in the midst of I'm not shaving all year. Like I'm gonna do the neck, and the up here, and just stray hairs here and there. But I'm gonna try and get. I grew my beard once.
I'm excited.
I grew my beard once for like 11 months, and it was actually like I got a compliment from somebody who was like, "You guys got a nice beard." I'm like, oh, "What, me?" So I want it again because my buddy back home. Shout out to Tyler. What's up? He's been growing his beard for like 2 years, so he's got like a big, thick beard, and his hair too. He's letting his hair grow, and he says he gets like a ton of attention from chicks. Now, our theory is that it is definitely the beard and the hair combo because he just looks like a fucking Viking.
Yeah,
and that's kind of what I want to go for. Like Ragnar from Vikings, obviously.
Yeah,
like I'd totally let him fuck me. Braid his hair first,
Same.
but like, that's what I'm going for. I want someone to be able to look at me with a thick beard and hair and go like, I'd let him fuck me. That's what I'm going for. But it's going to be the long haul because there's just so many awkward phases. It grows in all patchy here.
So then you got to like grow it out and then trim it so it's all the same length and then keep growing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a long process. But as you saw, yes, I bought some skincare, or not skincare.
Beard care.
Beard care products.
Some
with
beard oil.
A brush too.
Yeah. Some
two-in-one conditioner. Yeah. It's a boar hair brush, I think it was.
Oh, boar hair bristle brush.
Is that good?
Yeah.
Is that okay? It's scratchy at first though, because this is very thick. So I'm like, oh my God. Yeah. I'm scraping the skin cells off my fucking skin.
No, there are like boar hair bristle brushes that are like $250.
Wow, that one was $20. So maybe it doesn't have as many hairs. Man, it doesn't have many boar hair bristles. Say boar hair bristle brush.
Boar hair bristle brush.
Yeah, that's what I would have done too. What's up? How's your week going?
It's good. After our last podcast, or not our last one, after the Twilight episode when we had to be like, gotta go, I'm gonna get snowed in. I was snowed in for 3 days.
That's right.
Yeah, that was fun. But no, it's so weird. This week is starkly different. It's like today was so fucking nice.
Oh my God.
It was sunny. I needed sunglasses when I was driving. I'm like, is it January or May?
Welcome to the West Coast.
Yeah.
It was nice to get actual real vitamin D today. Except I spent most of the day. Oh, actually, no, we were working on a scene for like 2 hours. That was pretty cool. But we were indoors.
Yeah.
So during the sunniest part of the day. I come outside, right? I'm like, oh, yay, the clouds are back. Fucking sweet.
Just in time.
I got sucked into Zelda again.
Nice.
I only played for about, I don't know, an hour before you got here. It's just like, I've talked about it before. It's just like heroin. I don't know what heroin feels like, but it's like being addicted to something. Yeah. Just one more shrine.
This past week, speaking of like being addicted to things, this past week, 7 days.
Did you start doing drugs?
Yeah. No. I started watching and finished 3 different true crime docs on Netflix.
Which ones?
The Killer Inside, the story about Aaron Hernandez.
NFL. I heard that one's pretty crazy.
It is. That one, only 3 episodes, but they're an hour long, and you get so much information, it feels like there's more than 3. Highly recommend. So interesting. The second one, I think, is 5 or 6 episodes. It's called Confessions of a Serial Killer. It's about Henry Lee Lucas. That one's really interesting because, like, basically the Texas Rangers had a bunch of open cases, and they convinced Henry Lee Lucas to confess to all of them, to like in total 360, ranging from like Texas to California to, it was wild. And he confessed because like every time he confessed, he would get like special treatments, cigarettes, watch TV, steak dinner. So he was like, okay.
And they were just crossing cases off their list.
Yep.
What?
Yeah. And then the third one is one called Don't Fuck with Cats.
Oh yeah, I haven't finished it.
Oh my God.
I'm almost done episode 2. I already know how it ends. I know that they caught the guy, Luca Magnotta, there a while ago.
Yeah.
That's fucked up though.
I know. And the fact that I had no idea it was Canada until it was like the second episode when he had linked himself to Karla Homolka. And I was like, wait a minute.
That's creepy.
But also, like talking about this doc to people, they'll be like, oh yeah, I saw that on Netflix or I watched it. And then I would say, I can't believe he had the like balls and audacity to start that rumor about himself about being with Karla Homolka. I think every single person I've said that to, they're like, who? And I'm like, are you kidding?
I can't remember what she did. It was been so long.
Oh,
honestly, I'm not a big. You're the murder doc person in this equation.
I'm
because I try to get into them. I watch them periodically. I watch 1 or 2 a year, maybe.
I think they're just so fascinating, like the inner workings of like
what was the one?
different types of minds.
The neck bomb one. The chick who was that one. Was it
Evil Genius?
Evil Genius. Yes, that one was fucked up.
Yeah.
That chick was crazy.
100% ringleader.
Yep.
But Karla Homolka was married to Paul Bernardo, and they lived in Toronto, and they were called the Ken and Barbie Killers, where they tortured, raped, and murdered 3 14-year-old girls, one of whom was Karla Homolka's sister. Yeah, that's
fucked up people out there.
Fucked up.
Well, way to bring the podcast right down.
I know. But seriously, if you like true crime docs and, you know, you listen to The Sword and the Scale and the podcast, like, watch those
Shout
3
out to the Sword and Scale podcast.
Yeah. You, like, watch the 3 documentaries because they're so interesting.
Do you find yourself at any point when you've watched enough murder documentaries, you catch yourself ever saying like, oh, come on, I could do such a better job than that? Like, and you have to stop yourself because you realize that you're becoming a serial killer?
Yeah, you're like...
Minus the killing.
Shut the fuck up.
But you're like, I could fucking probably kill this piece of shit and get away with it.
Yeah.
I'd make it look like this. I'm not going to get any DNA anywhere.
I saw a meme the other day that was literally that. It was me watching... murder mystery doc. So-and-so left behind their bloody fingerprints in this. Me on my couch eating chips and salsa. Yeah. What a fucking idiot.
Stupid.
Yeah.
Hold on, let me grab that remote from you.
Mm-hmm. But I was having this conversation with Brandon because I'll be watching them in the morning when I'm getting ready for work.
First thing in the morning?
Yeah.
Interesting. Sets the precedent for the day.
Well, because when I start a show, it's after work at night. But I become so engrossed in it, I like binge it and watch a few episodes until I go to bed, and then I wake up and I'm like, time to find out more. Like, I'm so enthralled in it. So I'll be watching it like, you know, getting ready for work. I'll be watching it like after work. So Bran, whenever he's around, he'll come and peek over and he'll, you know, be watching this, and he'll be like, okay, so fill me in what happened, and then I'll tell him, and he's like, what the fuck?
Like, people do that?
Yeah.
I'm just gonna go do something else now.
Yeah, he's like, I'm just gonna go fly my jets. Bye. But it's so, I don't know, I just find it so interesting because, you know, the whole thing with like serial killers and, you know, people who just like are murderers, are at least serial killers tend to be like intelligent, sociopathic, like blend into normal society. So it's really interesting gathering all this like intel and information on how these people's brains may work, and then like go about your day and be like, there could be a lot in, you know, like our city.
I just finished watching. I think we might have talked about this last time. I binged You.
Oh yeah,
like hard.
Yeah,
and just that right there, you're like, yeah, it's usually a normal person, the butcher down the road, maybe the really quiet guy at the butcher shop that doesn't talk much. You're like, he's probably a serial killer. But literally, it's the one at the till going, here you go, have a good day, take her easy.
Yeah.
And you're like, you too. They're like, I'm going to murder you later.
Yeah. It's just, I don't know, so interesting. And Bran was talking to me the other day, and he was like, you should be a detective.
Why not?
I've thought about it.
Criminology stuff going on.
I've thought about it.
It just seems that also happens though when you watch a lot of one thing and you're like, "I'm going to watch," and then I'm like, "I'm going to do this."
Yeah,
and you don't know.
That's true.
Not to dash your dreams,
but
of
I
being
mean,
a detective or anything.
I don't like watch action movies and be like, I'm gonna be an action star. I'm gonna fucking take Krav Maga and run around and fucking ninja karate chop everyone in the fucking throat.
That was my dream as a child. I grew up watching action movies, and I was like, I want to be a movie star. Mainly Van Damme movies.
Yeah.
He's a big hero of mine. And I got to introduce you to him tonight.
Yeah.
And we watched the 1998 Rob Schneider, Jean Claude Van Damme duo classic, Knockoff. Oh my God. So I've been wanting to introduce you to Jean Claude Van Damme for a while.
Yeah.
Because, shout out to Tino McCrease as well. This was his suggestion. Tino, this is for you.
Oh,
This
cool.
is my buddy that we used to we get stupid with Van Damme. I could just, like I showed you a clip before this of the Street Fighter scene where the all-American soldier Colonel Guile, played by Jean Claude Van Damme with the thickest French accent in the movies ever. You can't mask that shit at all. At all. Gives that horrible speech. We would just say that to each other out of nowhere. I could just look at him. We used to work together. I could look at him across the newsroom and be like, "Troopers, I've just received new orders." He's like, "Fucking stop. I got work to do." And then he has to finish it. It's almost like when somebody starts singing a song with someone, they're like, "No, now I can't get it out of my head until I sing it all." So, yes, this is for him. But this movie was, I feel like I shorted you a little bit with the introduction to Jean Claude Van Damme because this is not Van Damme's best work.
Prime, yeah. Well, that's why we're here. That's why it's on the pod.
Yes, early 90s, even his best work is trash.
Oh, okay.
Like it's glorious trash, though.
Ooh.
So it didn't introduce you to him with like Bloodsport or Kickboxer, because I think you gotta see, in this era that we're in right now, you need to see some of his shittier stuff to make you appreciate the hits like Kickboxer and Death Warrant. And, and oh my God, as I say these names, I'm like, they're so bad. But Bloodsport is still a classic.
Okay.
So this one, do you remember what the story was in a nutshell? We'll lay it out there for the listeners.
There were explosives in things, and CIA agents are dispatched to figure out how to stop it.
Nanobomb technology.
Yes.
So many goddamn twists in this movie, though.
I know. I couldn't keep track of what regularly was going on. And then when a twist happened, I would just be like, I'm not surprised, but what the fuck?
Where is the story going now?
Yeah.
Because we start off this movie. I love how it just doesn't fuck around either. Right off the top, it's like, knock off. Boom. I'm like, oh, shit. Not even like a Paramount Pictures brings you. No, this was just like straight to VHS.
Yeah.
Booyah. Here's the movie title. And then we open with these scuba divers trying to get a package.
Yeah, trying to get a crate.
A shipping crate, a shipping container full of what they believe to be nano bombs. And all of a sudden, it's like they're underwater. They open the crate, and it's like the babies are loose, or the dolls are loose, because it's all subtitled. So there's just, and all of a sudden, these dolls just float to the surface, and you're like, what is going on? And then next thing you know, we just see a cutaway to a handheld device in someone's hand. It's like boop, 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 boom. The babies explode. You're like, oh, the baby dolls were full of bombs. Yeah.
And then
interesting.
All of the explosions looked like the Battle of Blackwater from Game of Thrones, like the green
dragon fire.
Yeah.
It just seems, like we're off to a great start on this. Oh, and they say knock off.
Like 27 million times.
I love it. They say in the first minute of the movie, it's like, oh, there we go. Let's start the counter. I wasn't actually counting.
No.
But when I was paying attention, I was like, well, there's 5 in this chunk.
Should I Google it? Maybe someone's done the work for us.
Yes,
we'll
it's been 22 years. Somebody had to have counted that. Because I heard at least a dozen.
Yeah.
if not 24. It's too many. So a staple of Van Damme movies is the overuse of slow motion. So within this opening scene, we have a boat chase that consists of people jumping into boats in slow motion, gunshots. I loved because this is a classic one where you got to shoot with a lot of close-ups. Like I think this was way before Sharknado's time.
Yeah.
Sharknado learned from movies like this with the close-up cutaways. We had a close-up of a trigger pulling,
Yeah.
and then a head exploding, and then a like jostled guy in a boat, like and then the boat chase continues. Like this shit is it's classic. It's like student film level
Yeah.
action. And then we flash to Hong Kong in 1997. So I didn't even understand. They didn't give us a date at the start.
No.
So it's just like Hong Kong 97. I'm like, so when was okay, were we in Hong Kong when the bombs exploded too? Sure.
I guess.
Let's just believe it. What you got over there for count?
Yeah.
Nothing?
Nothing. I literally Googled how many times is knockoff said in the movie Knockoff, and it doesn't say. But the budget was $35 million, and the box office was $10 million. Ooh.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, they shot this. It looked like they shot this in Hong Kong.
Yeah.
I think a lot of Van Damme movies actually got shot over there.
On site. Fuck.
Yeah.
I could not. My brain's done. I'm like, I can't think of any fucking words.
Wake up, Katie's brain.
I know, truly.
I'll take the reins. So now we're introduced to Rob Schneider. Because this is So Rob Schneider looked like a child. Rob Schneider looked like a child in this movie.
It's so weird seeing him in a vehicle that's not Adam Sandler's.
Oh, yeah, right.
I honestly did not have any idea that he was in a movie that didn't have Adam Sandler in it.
You can do it, Nikki! Bite his freaking head off! He didn't have much. Well, he did like Deuce Bigalow.
Oh, yeah.
Deuce Bigalow was a great movie. We should podcast that one day.
We should.
Because I will praise it and make fun of it because
Yeah.
it's such a stupid, silly idea. But it's so good. So we meet Rob Schneider in this role that he's just not set for. And he seems to be working in like a strip club. That's what I thought originally.
Yeah. Yeah, that was the vibe I got, but then apparently they were with models at a modeling agency.
Yes.
Or a fashion show.
And then he's like running mascots as well. It just
Yeah.
seems like he's just the bumbling fool, of course, because he's 4'5" or 5'2".
So little.
He's very small.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh my God. And they're like, where's Ray? And like, oh, this so we get introduced to his partner
Yeah.
in like classic Van Damme style. He's just the man snapping his fingers, driving his car, wearing giant oversized sunglasses. Yo, what's going on? Hey, oh, hey.
Bada bing, bada boom.
How are these knockoffs doing? Are they good? Hey, Frankie.
Oh my God.
I like the sunglasses.
How are these Pumas?
There's 2 M's. It's Puma. It's 1 M. There's 2 M's. They're knockoffs.
I know his French accent the whole time.
So at this point, we kind of get introduced to him. So he knows
Everyone.
So he's the king of. Oh yeah, we find out later he's the king of knockoffs.
Yeah.
But so he's just wandering through this. Like, is he the boss just checking up on stuff, being like, hey, everything looks good. I'm gonna keep on going now because
I guess
I would think if I were gonna be a knockoff anything salesman, I would try to distance myself
from it
as much as I could.
Yeah.
Why would you want to be like, just in case there's surveillance going on your place? Just want to go check out how the workers are doing. Just, hey, how are your kids' teeth? Those benefits working for you? Just kidding. We don't have benefits for you. Keep working, slave. You don't want to hang around there.
No.
So it just seemed odd that he would just walk through, and I'm like, okay,
he's so happy about it. He's like, how's it going?
We're gonna make so much money off these knockoff things.
Yeah.
And then he goes to meet his brother for this foot race.
Oh,
Wait, hang on. Am I getting ahead of myself?
No.
Oh, yeah, this is right. Okay, so they're fucking... All right. So there's a foot race. Mm-hmm. Oh, wait. First, we get introduced to this overweight...
skinny.
Like, skinny. Yes. What is he exactly?
A gambler.
he's just a bad guy.
Yeah.
He's just a bad dude.
He's just a bad guy.
And so he sees Van Damme and he's like, the only reason, badly dubbed over English voice too, the only reason that your legs aren't broken is because I've put money on you in the race. And we're like, race? What?
Yeah, we're like, what the fuck?
Welcome down to the annual rickshaw race, everybody. And there's like a fucking dozen of them.
Yeah.
Lined up with no room to move. So I'm like, already, this is a disadvantage for everybody. Give them a chance. Give them some space. It's a foot race, a rickshaw race. And we get slow motion shots, point of view shots of Van Damme's feet going into a pair of these pumas.
Yeah.
I'm like, why was that necessary? And then a cutaway again to
the pumas.
The pumas.
Oh, yeah.
The pumas ripping apart on his feet. And he's like, oh no, the knockoffs. Like by this time we've heard knockoff 5 times.
Yeah.
These
and
are
we're
knockoffs.
We're like 20 minutes in?
We were playing off my laptop and it was over by the TV and I didn't even want to get up. And I'm like, it's got to be over soon.
Yeah.
This was, maybe 20 minutes in. Ugh. So he's at some point, they get onto the last stretch of the road and Rob Schneider somehow grabbed an eel.
Yeah.
And is whipping Van Damme with it, telling him to mush that. Like there was the humor in this movie. I don't even know how to categorize it. It was weird.
It was.
It would make me giggle sometimes. Like, but then they would just overdo it, like beat it to death. And I'm like, stop whipping him. You whipped him already.
I know.
We got the laugh. Like, how about one more time? Let's see if they'll laugh again.
Yeah. Like we dumb.
And there's a lot of shots of like Van Damme looking back over his shoulder, which is just classic Van Damme. Just shots of him just turning and looking. Or like I mentioned to you during the movie, where he'll land on the ground or something and look over and a bad guy will see him and be like, and they're like, oh no, and then they'll like part ways, or it'll give him a chance to kick them in the face or slow motion roundhouse kick them.
Yes.
Jumping splits roundhouse kick. He didn't do any in this one.
Or jump parkour off of a standing structure and then into someone.
Well, that's the old parkour torpedo body check move.
Yeah.
So anyway, these bad guys grab Eddie during this race because...
Or grab fake Eddie because he was cheating.
Yeah, so... Oh, that's how he got... Oh, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I don't know why I didn't figure that out.
And a lookalike Eddie was like, go to the finish line! And then he got in this van, but then the Russians stopped and picked up fake Eddie, and Van Damme thought it was real Eddie and went to go like rescue him and get him back, but fake Eddie got shot in the face.
I don't know how I didn't pick up on that. That's a very important integral. Like I knew he was like, it's not him. I'm like, why isn't it him? I missed the part where he was like, go run to the end. I didn't see the old switcheroo. Fuck, they pulled the old switcheroo on me.
Yeah,
it worked.
The old 1-2 switcheroo.
God damn. So what happens after this? Oh yeah, I loved how when they grabbed Eddie, the guy in the van drove slow enough for Van Damme to catch up on foot.
And he's at this point, the shoes are broken, so he's doing barefoot. So he caught up with them barefoot. Okay, sure. I won't accept that, but okay.
It's a Van Damme movie. You have to.
That's true.
This is like watching Twilight or other movies with magic in them. Because like Van Damme movies, you just have to go, yep, that makes sense. You totally get attacked by 10 guys, but only have to fight one at a time. That makes sense.
It's the least they could do.
In a Van Damme movie.
It's all about being courteous, you know?
Well, it is like, whoa, guys. Actually, because he made a show. And you have to watch this if you get the chance. Do you have Amazon Prime?
Yeah.
Prime now. Watch Jean Claude Van Johnson.
Ooh, okay.
It's a show that he made, Amazon original, 6 episodes. It's him playing himself, and he's a secret agent. So his cover is always he's an actor. He's Jean Claude Van Damme, but he's really Jean Claude Van Johnson, like a secret agent. But his cover is him as an actor, and he just pokes fun at himself. Like just makes fun of his old career and how he was when he was famous. And it's like, wow, this is like his best, in my eyes, it's Van Damme's best performance ever. And it's actually a really great acting job that he does. Like I give him a ton of credit for it. They're not making a second season, which I'm choked about because it was so good. I loved it.
Okay,
I thought it was
I'll
great.
check it out. I'll put it on my watch list right now.
Jean Claude Van Johnson. Speaking of watch list, I fucking love this watch.
But
I
know,
have to
right?
figure out how I can get
How
just
the
a
heart
straight up
rate thing?
notepad on it. Because I just want to be able to go like, because I installed Bixby.
Ooh.
Now when I go, hey, Bixby, he's like, What?
What do you want?
And I say, remind me to stand up in 10 minutes. I didn't understand. Yeah, shut up. So anyway, you got to say,
shut up.
You have to say the right things to it. Otherwise, it's like, nah, I didn't hear that. Try again, idiot. But it's weird. I haven't made phone calls with it, but I talk to text into it.
Ooh.
Because if somebody messages me in the morning, I'll take it out of good night mode.
Yes.
And I'm like, someone's texting me. And like, what's up? And just talk. It's cool. Like
I know. It's like you're a spy.
It's the future. We're in 2020. It's like we're talking into our fucking watches.
I know.
I'm Inspector Gadget, just way
go,
cooler.
Go, Gadget Watch
with
Talk.
a beard.
Yeah, wait until you make phone calls on it. Apparently, because I have like Galaxy Buds too. Apparently, making a phone call on my watch and talking when like my arm is here is a lot crisper and more clear than when my Galaxy Buds are in and I'm talking.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, I have a feeling this thing is like super sensitive with the microphone because I'll try to like talk to it in the kitchen, and if the TV's on, like I was watching UFC earlier, if the TV's on, it's not picking up what I'm saying because it's just hearing everything in here. So that like really makes me even more suspicious.
Yep.
Because now it's just right here. It's gonna hear me like talking in my sleep.
Oh,
that's creepy.
Good luck.
As long as it tells me what I say. It's like, what do I sound like? So this, I love we get introduced to this chick cop who fights Van Damme at the end of the scene because they crash into a convenience store.
Yeah, or a market.
Demolish it. Like, just slide through the whole thing.
Just absolutely destroyed it.
There were innocent people in there. I'm sure they killed someone.
Oh, totally. But it's an action movie, so.
So this chick cop shows up and starts fighting the bad guys. And I love how they get the point across that she's a police officer with the line she delivers as she's handcuffing one of them and pointing the gun in his face is like, "You're gonna talk, perp."
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, she must be a cop.
Oh.
And then it's like, cut away to a close-up of her badge laying on the ground. I'm like, oh, if we didn't already know she's a cop. And
she's
then
for sure a cop.
5 seconds later, she's like, "Police, freeze!" and holding up her badge and a gun now. And I'm like, okay, third time, we got it. But then Rob Schneider comes in and sees her holding a badge and a gun. And he's like, oh, shit. And he whips
Campbell's her.
What is he? Oh, yeah, with a can of soup.
Yeah. I got her.
Just knocks her out. And he's like, you idiot. She was on our side.
And he was like, she was a cop? Well, why didn't you say that?
It's like, well, what was she holding up? Was she just holding up her wallet? Hey, this is my wallet.
Yeah.
Look at it.
Hey, do you want my money? Like.
Just a silly.
I know.
But it's anyway.
Anyway.
Oh, then we meet Karen Lee.
Karen Lee.
Karen Lee kept me interested in this movie.
Yeah.
She was hot.
Mm-hmm.
She was hot. But now at this point.
Now I wish her and Van Damme like.
Well, I will say this was one Van Damme movie I've seen without a sex scene.
When you were like Van Damme's gonna do her, I was like, cool.
Because there's
nope.
Most of his movies, not most, most of his movies have gratuitous sex scenes or nudity of some sort. I was like, we're at least gonna get to see your tits. We didn't get to see shit.
No.
I don't think Cyborg had a sex scene. That would just be weird. Post-apocalyptic sex is probably not searched that frequently on the internet.
No.
It's just me, I guess.
Oh my God.
Oh. So then we get in. Now we figure out. How do we find out that Schneider's a cop? Oh, yeah. He goes to the bathroom in the market.
Yeah.
That's what happens. They're eating, talking about Eddie being a scumbag. Mm-hmm. Spills on his shirt. And then he's like, any news from Eddie? And then I don't know how the fuck they got them to the top of that Coca-Cola sign.
Yeah, so quickly too.
The thing was huge.
Yeah.
I didn't see an elevator. They
Nope.
took the stairs. Their cardio conditioning is fantastic because none of them were like panting by the top. And how did Van Damme know to go to the top?
I know, like
it just again, it's magic.
Yeah.
He just knows. And
Van
but he's
Damme
like,
magic.
hey, stay back or you're gonna get in trouble. And he like said this is where I'm like, okay, now we start to see some Van Damme moves. So you see a little bit of fight at the top, and then, yes, this is where he finds them talking at the top of the Coca-Cola.
And he's like, I trusted you. You were just making me take you to Eddie.
I love... So this is the Van Damme school of acting. He has charming,
Yeah.
calm, and screaming. Those are the 3 states of Van Damme.
That's it. Yeah.
You lied to me. Yeah. Oh, come on, man. Like, it's just, he goes, it's one or the other.
Yeah.
And like, it's like the thing you just don't do. You don't yell. You can't go up from yelling.
Yeah.
You can't escalate past yelling. And I'm like, man, you just go from we're good to
Yeah, we're good to
Come on, Van Damme, be better than that. But this was like, this is Van Damme, man.
just classic VD.
Oh, so then he's like, you lied to me. Rips his shirt off, so he walks off in a fucking wife beater. The classic Van Damme black wife beater. I've sent you the gif of him dancing in Kickboxer.
Yeah.
Those fucking moves.
I loved that. That was my favorite gif when he was like,
if only you could, if you right now you heard the song that goes along with it, because it's a ridiculous song, and I can imagine it right now. I've seen that movie so many times. So he goes for like a long evening stroll around the airport, it seemed, and it's like, I'm like, where is he all of a sudden? He's just standing, silhouette, planes taking off behind him.
And then a big sunset. Like, where are you, dude?
Just went for a moonlit butt in the moonshine walk. Fuck, I got that wrong. It's from Loaded Weapon. You ever seen National Lampoon's Loaded Weapon 1?
No.
With Samuel L. Jackson and Emilio Estevez. It is one of National Lampoon's best movies ever. They just make fun of Lethal Weapon and all the like cop movies.
Okay.
Oh, it's good. We'll have to watch it sometime. We're not going to make fun of it. We're just going to watch it because it's great.
Oh, I've never heard of it.
So what was with this sick guy in this movie?
I know he kept like, I thought he had tuberculosis or something. Like, I thought that was what it was going to come to.
Well,
The
yeah,
reveal of like blood in the hanky. But no, he's just disgusting.
He didn't have any lines in the movie.
Nope.
I don't think he said a fucking word.
No.
He just fought Van Damme at the end.
Fought and coughed. He literally would like cough and then he would fight.
In a weird way, too. He's
Yeah.
throwing his hands up in front of him like what are you doing?
Yeah. Can't see
Stop
me.
it. He's like,
Can't see me.
he's too fast. But we learn later that Van Damme is faster.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. So this is the for some reason bombs get set off in the little market where they're eating.
Oh yeah.
And then it wasn't bombs. It was a truck driving through because there was a
Yeah.
pizza delivery. They're like, oh, we're just waiting. It was a sting operation. That's what it was. It was a sting operation on the factory.
Right.
It's all coming back to me now. It's the weed recollection. So the truck, they're like, oh, this is where we're going to get him. And then boom, the truck blasts out of there. And Van Damme just happens to be perfectly placed on the balcony above where the truck takes out this lower strut of the structure that he's on. He rolls onto the truck just perfectly. Then the whole thing just
holding
comes
on.
down.
Yep.
And is like, well, at least
And
he's
it's
up
a little
there.
tent.
And he's got, there's like this fucking thing sitting on top for the whole time, not hitting any other signs because there's no signs in the Hong Kong streets.
No, God, no.
At all. Like there's no stairs or shit like
Nope.
that. And this car chase, this truck scene just goes on for what seems like miles.
And then how did the Asian CIA guy get on there with Van Damme?
It's like I think he ran. This is where I was getting confused because I was like, wait, Van Damme's on top. What's he doing on the bottom? Then I'm like, oh, this guy's helping him.
Yeah.
So he ran after it, grabbed onto a handle, and then grabbed the handle to release the platform that comes down, the little lifting platform.
Right.
And then they opened the door, and he fought. The one dude was like climbing onto the roof, and Van Damme fought him on the roof and threw him off and got him impaled at some point.
Oh yeah.
Gunfire and fuck. It was just an insane action sequence.
It was chaos. It was unorganized chaos.
Oh, and then after this whole scene, I love this. So Van Damme ends up flying off the back, coming to a sliding stop, picks up this little tracker, and he goes, "Nice toy." And the guy grabs it and goes, "It's not a toy. Don't play with it."
Yeah.
And then we dissolve to the next scene where it's a bunch of sandbags surrounding these little nano bombs.
It's not a toy. Don't play with it.
It's not a toy. Don't play with it.
Come on, Jean.
I loved this though. So there was a scene in the midst of this where the police are talking to, when was it? It was somebody explaining the mini bombs and how they worked. But there was an animation on the screen
Yes.
that looked like something out of like AOL 93.
Yeah, something you do for like a project.
Clip art in grade 4.
Yeah.
Wait, not my grade 4. We didn't have the internet till grade 9. I'm aging myself. I'm old.
I'm old.
But I loved this. So they went and found Eddie. So they Eddie's
hiding in the spiky fruit area.
The spiky fruit warehouse that we never really knew.
The sun-kissed spiky fruit warehouse.
Is a strange place because we learn that it's full of henchmen after this, and we don't know who. I don't know who's chasing them, but Eddie's like, I got something for you guys. Hang on. And he goes to open his safe, and you're like, I don't think this is going to be good. And then a rocket that somehow got set in his safe facing outwards goes off when he opens the safe door.
On a spring-loaded trap.
And it blasts him through the wall, through the building, into another building and takes out the wall of that building. And then chaos just erupts.
All
here.
the henchmen are like, you killed him, you killed him.
So we're all of those people Eddie's henchmen?
I guess.
Like, so this is where, now I wanted to bring this up. Where do you even get
that many
henchmen?
Yeah, how do you recruit them?
Let's say you and I wanted to start being villains right now. Where would you first want to look for henchmen? Like, what kind of people would you want working for you? We got to pick a business first, I guess. Let's say we're going to start making fake jeans. We need some henchmen.
Yeah.
Where do you get henchmen? I don't even know. Like, is there a black market for it?
Yeah, or like
a Craigslist ad?
There has to be some sort of
Facebook Marketplace?
Some sort of not casting something, but
like an agency, though.
Yeah.
Henchman agency.
Yes, henchman agency. So you're getting good henchmen that are loyal, that won't flake on you. That'll avenge you if you're blown up by a rocket.
They're signing henchmen on. They're like, okay, are you willing to travel? Yes. Are you willing to work with explosives? Okay, yes. Take off. You're going to get a lot of work here. You're ticking off a lot of good boxes. Will you work with people of other race? Oh, no. Okay, well, that's going to tick off an X right there. That ain't going to work with us.
Yeah.
But
yeah, how does one
and a lot of henchmen
acquire, like, that was at least like 100 henchmen.
You need a full business plan to pay these henchmen. Like, are you housing them? Do they work on shifts?
Yeah.
Are they on a rotating schedule? Do they get a week on, a week off kind of thing? Are they by the job?
I feel like with that many of them, they'd be week on, week off.
That would be the way to do it, because too much henchmaning would just be like, it would drain you.
You need to have a family too.
Well, yeah,
some downtime.
I don't think a lot of these guys do probably have families. Like, what do you do for work? I'm a henchman. It's tough work, but someone's got to do it.
Someone's got to do it.
How's the henchman business in town? Well, it's got its ups and downs. We lost a couple last week. Fucking guy just shot everybody. I barely got out. Anyway, here's my resume.
Yeah, here you go.
Fuck, what kind of life do you have to lead to be a henchman? Just like at one point, you're just like, fine, I'll fucking work for you, you rich cunt.
Yeah, you have to be okay with like being a beta.
Yeah, like, basically, you cannot think for yourself.
No.
But anyway, Van Damme fights his way out of here by wrapping his arm in a chain and fighting everyone with a knife. I love everybody with a knife. Getting a scooter, tries to smash it through a fucking door. It doesn't work. And then eventually he meets up with Schneider, and Schneider's got, I love this. He takes the VCR.
Yeah.
The VCR. I'm like, is that a fucking VCR? It is. He's like, it's the security tape. if someone's on here, we got him. And I'm like, I hope it's a 6-hour tape, because a lot of them were 2. And if you didn't set that little switch, you weren't getting double the time.
Mm-hmm.
Ugh, excuse me. Who's got a fucking TV with the right cables?
Yeah.
Laying around to fucking check a VHS tape.
Well, probably in 1997, everyone did.
That's a good point. That's true. Oh my God. So slim, tiny, skinny. Skinny is in a parkade, and Van Damme's like, I gotta go talk to Skinny.
Was that a parkade?
I don't know what that was. It was a parkade.
Okay.
It was a very white, very clean, wide open, carless parkade. And Van Damme approaches this gang of hoodlums, Skinny with his henchmen, more henchmen. These guys look classier though, and he's like, blah, 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 blah. You killed Eddie. And he's like, I wasn't there when he was executed. And he's like, executed? Why did you say executed? That's where he like catches on. And he's like, you fucking set him up. You're all part of this. And then, okay, we've talked about this before. I love climbing. I'm really getting into climbing. And this scene just fucking set me off, because Van Damme, first of all, they use like speed up weird vision to make him seem like he's Usain Bolt or something. And then he climbs up the side of a pillar and
like he grabs it and he hops up like a frog, like
super quick, which takes tremendous amounts of strength to do that, to squeeze hard enough to climb up that, let alone flip from one side to the other all the way around this 3-foot wide pillar. He's not wearing climbing shoes either. He's just wearing like fucking loafers. So it magic. It's magic.
The
Van
ultimate
Damme is magic.
the ultimate spider monkey.
You
Van
better
Damme.
hang on, Spider Monkey.
Yeah, the ultimate.
Oh, so then I love this. So he gets skinny, throws him in the back of the car, like just beats him up, throws him in the back of the car, pins him down with the passenger seat, and they start driving. So now it's like a car chase.
Yeah.
They fucking ramp this car off of like a wall into a sea can.
360.
It rolls twice, then he's like, "Bah." No seatbelt on either.
Yeah.
They drive away.
fine.
I'm like, what the
Whereas in
Van Damme.
reality, if you like tailgate someone and hit them and the front of your car is busted, like it's right off pretty much.
that thing was fucked.
Yeah.
It would
I want
not
to
have-
know what
it shouldn't
brand
have
that
even,
was.
Shouldn't have even landed on its fucking wheels.
No.
But it's Van
But
Damme.
it did.
So we get to check this VHS tape because the CIA, they're all hanging out in the fucking Buddha.
CIA
The
club.
CIA Buddha. And they check it and they're like, oh shit, we recognize her. It's the black chick. That's Karen Lee. And then now we flash over to Schneider all cut up and Karen Lee's like macking on him and shit.
Yeah, she's like she's facing him and his back is cut and she's like, let me put those bandages on for you, and is like wrapping her arms around him like,
It's
okay.
very awkward. It's very awkward and tense. So you're like, okay, I can see what Schneider's trying to do here. So fucking Van Damme shows up. They have a fight. I love how in like a lot of, and this is like an old Van Damme thing, he fights a lot of chicks in his movies.
Does he?
Like I remember at least one, if not two other instances, one being in Double Impact where he was a twin and he was played both of his brothers.
Of course.
And he fights a chick at one point and just bam, backhands her, and that was enough for her. But this is after like
Jesus.
she almost chokes him out with her legs. It's crazy. And yeah, he fights this fucking chick.
And just
wins, beats her up, but then we realize, oh, she's a fucking CIA agent too. And you're like, how do they scan that? If you look, well, my nightclub blacklight scanner shows it says fucking ID and also says you're banned from Darcy's. What the fuck? You can't come in here. But now she's CIA. Everybody's fucking CIA.
yeah, everyone in this movie is like Russian, Asian, or CIA.
The writing, though. The writing. Before she's like, he wrestles her to a stop and she's like, I'm going to blow her head off. And she's like, look into my pants.
Yeah.
What?
Look into my pants.
Look into my pants. Like, no.
I know you fucking wanted to, sicko.
But it's like, look in my pants.
Yeah.
Look into my pants.
Look in my
it just
pocket.
seems so fucking weird.
Yeah. Look into
Yes.
my pants.
Look into them, like pull them open and look, or
Yeah,
am I
like-
reaching? I'm not sure. Oh, the Russians had sick mustache game, I must say.
That's true.
You made that comment. You're like, this is fucking nice
yeah,
mustaches.
that guy's mustachio.
Oh, coffee there into his fucking handkerchief. Nice fucking handlebar on
yeah.
him. So now we find ourselves on a shipping container because a lot of,
yeah.
also I must point out, a lot of Van Damme movies seem to end on shipping containers.
Really?
Shipping containers are involved. Ships. Like shipping ships. Like there's always some sort of weird like wet ground as we find in here. There's chains, there's hooks, there's a lot of cranes and sea cans and boats. It's very strange.
Interesting.
We're gonna watch more Van Damme
Yeah,
as time goes on, and
maybe-
you're gonna see and you're gonna be like, I fucking get it.
Maybe it's a thing in his contract. He's like, I must be in a film that has cranes, shipping crates.
There has to be shipping containers, and I have not to mask my accent at all.
Yeah.
Okay, that's the stipulation. Fine,
And I
Jean
have to
Claude.
show off my butt.
Yes, Van Damme buns.
Yeah.
In every movie, you always get like him in tidy whities, him naked. It's like, what the fuck? And he's always oiled up. He's always just unusually greasy and flexing at weird times.
Oh, of course.
Oh, man.
But
can't
I
wait
get
to show you
why.
more Van Damme.
I get why people thought he was hot because
He's a good looking dude.
yeah,
Everybody wanted to be Van Damme. Every time, like we'd like make ninja movies, or like not ninja movies, we'd do like martial arts at home as a kids and be like, bah, yelling like him because you always got to do the Van Damme.
yeah.
Yeah. The mouth noises that come out of this man
I know.
in this entire movie. I don't know how many times you were like, because he's just running. But I'm like, fucking calm down, dude.
I know.
Breathe through your nose. You're tiring me out. So then we find out the CIA was bad all along.
Yep, except for Lee Schneider.
And the Asian dude.
Yeah.
Who I never really knew. Like, oh yeah, he was the guy that don't touch that. It's not a toy.
Yeah, it's not a toy.
I don't think we got his name though.
No, I don't think so.
All these characters are pretty much just nameless to me.
Yeah.
This Agent 1, Agent 2, and Van Damme and
we
Rob
can
Schneider.
just call him Scarface because he had a scar on his face.
Scarface.
Yeah.
So, where was I at? We're on this ship now. So many fucking twists. And I love how you're like, they're doing Mission Impossible shit to get in this. You're going, knockoff Mission Impossible music. I'm like, even the music is a knockoff.
Yep.
And at this point, we've heard them say knockoff like 25 times.
So they're all fighting on the shipping container, and the bad CIA guy that we thought was dead takes a bunch of buttons to put on the knockoff jeans and shoves them into Lee's shirt and is like,
because they're bombs.
Yeah.
And this guy was a piece of shit. He's like, he's just like, then this. Okay, the Coast Guard is like, oh no, we have an incoming ship. They're not stopping. This exposition was just insane because this fucking general was giving her everything he had. He's like, this might be the only movie role I have for the rest of my life.
I gotta give it my all.
He's like, if they pass that line, use whatever force is necessary to kill them at the deadline. I repeat, the deadline. That's what it's there for. Make sure they're dead. They're like, we get it, bud. Holy shit. And then they can't stop the boat because there's a malfunction or something. So, Jesus, this is just, it's getting so intense.
And the Coast Guard was giving them a lot of chances. Like, I don't think the Coast Guard in real life would be like, get back over that line. Get back over that line now. 5, 4.
Yeah. Stop your fucking boat.
Yeah.
Just use any means necessary.
Yeah.
So then fucking what's-her-face here just murders everyone with this one machine gun in one clip. I love it.
Yep. And she's like crawling into the like rafters of this ship and
just weird moves to get into a position to shoot someone. Like just stand there and shoot them. Don't jump into the rafters. It's unnecessary. So, So then he fights Coffee. I was telling you, every Van Damme movie has like a final fight. And he has to fight the toughest guy. So like the whole time we're like, he's got tuberculosis. No, he's actually a really good martial artist.
Yeah.
He was
just
covering
has a bad cough.
So it's like they have to get like, okay, you're going to fight this guy at the end, but what's his disability? Maybe he has like robot legs or something and he can't move that fast. Okay, cool, but we'll make him really fast at the end. Perfect. Like, oh man, he had us tricked. Fuck off, Google. So yeah, he gets crushed. I love that.
Oh yeah, crushed with a shipping container.
And then he somehow rolls up this, all right, a cargo net can't be light.
No.
At all. That's thick fucking rope.
Yeah, that roping is going to be really, really heavy.
He tosses like what I can only assume is an 80-foot net over the edge and then like hits the guy, slides down it. I'm like, it was rolled. You could see it getting thrown over. And I'm like, that was rolled. So what did you take that net? Did you roll it up and carry it over there? That's like a couple 100 pounds. And then go, all right, I'm ready. And throw it off just to net a guy? Seems unnecessary.
Yeah, just to get the one guy. And then he like bulldozes and somersaults down it.
Ugh. Yeah. But we're nearing the end because this is it. And I said, wrote this down. How long does it take to press a button?
I know. The guy's just like,
he's looking at the caressing it. Maybe I'll give them another minute or two. We got to get in the boat.
Yeah.
The boat won't start. I'm doing the best I can. I'm turning the key as fast as I can.
Yeah. And he's like, I'm going to fucking blow him up.
And then eventually, like, so I didn't realize this. She takes the bombs out of her shirt.
Yeah.
Tosses them at him.
Yeah.
Jumps off the boat at the same time.
Yep.
Okay, I thought that's what happened.
And then he presses it, and Van Damme and company are in the little buoy. And then he's like,
and it blown up. At this point, I said, what the fuck is going on? Are they riding the boat down a waterfall made by an exploding ship?
That's what it looked like to me. Yep. Yeah. It was like a water park ride.
It was Splash fucking Mountain.
And then all of a sudden, abruptly, it cuts. And then it's like 2 years later.
Oh, yeah.
Or 2 months later.
2 hours later.
2 hours later.
So it was like, he's looking around going, what are you looking for? And he's like, okay, what did he say? Did he say he was looking for the dude? Like, what? He's like, what are you looking for? And he said, I don't know, or something like that. And then bam, 2 hours later, I'm like, what?
Yeah.
And they're having a drink after. oh, yes, they're in a bar, and they're like, oh, we should just stick to what we're good at, blah, blah, blah. Maybe this, maybe that. And he's like, oh, I still have that detonator, though. He's like, oh, why do you still have that? And in the meantime, we cut away to this dude who didn't really realize who he was, putting these little nano bombs into toys.
Yeah.
And that like a fucking evil monster.
I know. Like dinosaur toys.
We haven't even ripped this guy apart yet. But then we cut back to them playing with the detonator. He's like, oh, we just press this button and everything goes away. So I'm like, the detonator's still live, attached to the bombs that Buddy's putting in the toys. Because then all of a sudden, he's like, starts beeping, and we see it's the big fat CIA mob boss. And then boom, he blows up. And they're like, oh, maybe we should just do something else. And it's like, end of the movie.
Yeah. Like, okay, what are you going to do?
So they still ended up accidentally killing the guy in the end, and they won.
Yep, of course, because it's a
movie.
Van Damme movie.
So your first foray?
Yes, foray.
Foray into
my first foray.
Van Damme. What'd you think? Be honest.
I mean, I enjoyed it, and I can see the hype for Van Damme and how everyone thought like he was a shit and he was so hot. But I also feel like it's definitely a different generational culture thing.
Oh, absolutely. Like this is what, this was 98. So imagine our action movies are Avengers and like Marvel movies and shit.
Yeah. Well, okay. To be fair.
And 600 Ground. To be fair.
Yeah, our new action movies are that. But like I grew up.
600 Ground was fucking awesome.
Yes, it was. I grew up watching like The Last Action Hero and Terminator 2.
Movie.
I know. And
Dark Fate. I still gotta watch that. That's what just came out.
So, and this whole time watching this, I was thinking about how similar Van Damme and Arnold Schwarzenegger are with regards to like their type of movie vehicles being like actiony, showing off their bulk and their muscles, throwing in a little bit of humor in there. Jean Claude Van Damme has a little bit more humor, and his vehicles are a little more lighter weight. Whereas Arnold Schwarzenegger, like doing Terminator and Terminator 2 was really heavy. But then when he did Last Action Hero.
That was a great movie.
And True Lies. I grew up watching True Lies too.
That was a good one. Last Action Hero, my buddy Tyler and I reviewed that at Christmas once. And we just cut like a little 10-minute snippet of us talking over it. Because we just recorded ourselves talking over it. That fucking movie is great. So
good. Charles Dance.
Though, the craziest concept though, like they don't realize they're in a movie, but the kid's the only one that knows they're in a movie.
Yeah.
And even the shit like, you were in the fucking Terminator, like in the movie store, and it's all Stallone.
Yeah.
Because Stallone and Schwarzenegger always had that little rivalry. But yeah, Van Damme was in like the midst of Stallone, Steven Seagal. There was Van Damme, Schwarzenegger, Wesley Snipes was big.
Yeah.
Before he went to jail for tax, whatever.
Evasion.
Fucking guy.
Tax evasion.
So
I enjoyed it. It
was entertaining.
Yeah.
Like this is the thing. Like this is what I was watching in my childhood is shit like this. Just entertaining fucking stupid movies. You watch now and you're like, good God, like how did I love this?
Yeah.
But we're gonna watch Bloodsport at some point.
Yeah.
But Rob Schneider was the best part of this movie.
I know he
was like, he can act.
Yeah, he was like the regular bumbling idiot. He wasn't the cringy like.
But what do you rate it? What do you rate this movie?
I'll give it 5.5 Jean Claude Van Damme buns out of 10.
Buns. I'm gonna give it 4 3/4 slow motion roundhouse kicks to 10 nanobomb detonators. I'm gonna make a compilation of these someday.
These ratings.
Just ridiculous. This and the episode's brought to you by.
Ooh, yeah.
And then your rants about driving and almost fighting old people.
There are a lot.
Well then, thank you for joining us, everybody. If you're listening and you like us, let us know, man. Messages on Facebook or Instagram. Follow us, share us, subscribe. That'd be kind of cool because we like doing this. This is a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And we're not going to stop for a long time. So Forever. All right. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
This is real garbage.